You're entering Corsi Nation.
This is Dr. Jerome Corsi, and today it's Monday. It's March 31st, 2025. Thanks for joining us on CorsiNation.com. We're back with Corsi Nation, and we're back full bore, reporting on the news. I want to start out right away today with what developed over the weekend. Over the weekend, quite a bit of activity in Ukraine. Zelenskyy is saying he does not want to sign the rare earth minerals deal that he negotiated with Trump. He's saying that he wants to work with the Europeans to bring European armies into Ukraine. He wants to go to war with Russia. This is absolute madness of a lunatic crackhead. And, Zelensky's got to understand that he's putting the whole world in danger of World War III. Now, over the weekend, first of all, there was this car that blew up and Trump's motorcade, and certainly the Ukrainian intelligence agencies are going to put out that was an attempt to assassinate assassinate Putin by who knows whom by. Certainly there'll be false flag indications and rumors all over this thing. But Zelensky's out there saying that Putin has very short time to live, and then the car blows up. Well, I mean, how insane can Zelenskyy be? Does he want to say that he's predicting the assassination of the Russian president, and that's not supposed to be a crime? I mean, this guy is a nutcase. He's dangerous. Zelenskyy must be. That performance in the White House with Donald Trump was one of the most disgraceful I've ever seen in my life, where he's saying, no, we want security guarantees, we want all of these things. So the limousine blows up in a massive explosion on Moscow street. It clearly looks like an attempt on Putin's life. Putin was well advised over the weekend to protect himself, to watch out for an assassination attempt, which could easily be real. There's no reason to think it wouldn't be real. And so therefore, I see my shirt today is doing the bizarre coloring because of the nature of the pinstripe in the shirt. So that's going to be an interesting dynamic today. Maybe it's better than the light show we used to have with the sun coming in and a dark Corsi. Okay, so the car blows up. Zelenskyy predicting that Putin has very little time to live. Zelensky's getting boosted by these nutcase Europeans, France, Italy, the others that are now going completely Marxist. They're going completely woke, overrun by Muslims, out of control, bankrupt countries, wanting to go to war with Russia, cover up their own crimes. Macron married to an older man, posing as a woman, widely known in Europe. Muslim populations doing gang rapes all through Europe. Nobody doing anything about it. It's politically incorrect to dare say that Muslims were gang raping white women. So Europe is a mess, and it's not going anywhere positive. Now, President Trump had a very interesting statement today as he's re-engaging, getting back into the work week. And here's what he said about Zelenskyy and backing out on the trade deal.
Zelenskyy, by the way, I see he's trying to back out of the rare earth deal. And if he does that, he's got some problems, big problems. We made a deal on rare earth. And now he's saying, well, I want to renegotiate the deal. He wants to be a member of NATO. Well, he was never going to be a member of NATO. He understands that. So if he's looking to renegotiate the deal, he's got big problems. He's
got big problems like, number one, Trump's going to cut him off at the knees and say, good luck, buddy. No more U.S. money. No more money to steal. The gravy train's over. Go shove it where the sun doesn't shine. Take your whole rotten country with you. And no more money from the United States. No more military assistance. No more battlefield guidance. Good luck against Russia. Sayonara. Ciao. Bye. And as to NATO, these countries in NATO, I'm still marveling at Trump's patience. Why we don't just quit funding. Let's get out of NATO. Quit funding NATO. The thing will it'll evaporate and blow away as if it never existed. It's a worthless organization. All they want to do is go to war with Russia, push NATO to the edge of the Russian territory. There's no way that Trump is going to allow Ukraine to be in NATO. So if this is pushed by the Europeans, then forget it. We don't need NATO. We don't need Europe. Let the French and the British go to hell economically on their own. They've already gone on in for this net zero nonsense. And so therefore they've cut off nuclear power. They've now got expensive energy. People are going to be finding that there's a recession hitting in massive proportions in Europe. And by the way, the global recession is starting. In case you haven't been watching, the stock market's been doing very poorly. Stock market comes back occasionally every day. Now and then it has a rally. But the stock market lost 715 points on the Dow Jones last Friday. In fact, everything was down over the weekend. Down, even cryptocurrencies were down. The entire, essentially, financial world is pricing in today a massive global downturn. They're saying it's over the tariffs. It's not over the tariffs. It's over the massive global debt. It's unsustainable. There's no way this fiat debt can be maintained any longer. And so it's going to come crashing down. Okay, so with regards to Ukraine, what I'm seeing from the weekend is that Zelenskyy is done. He's burned his bridge with Putin. He's burned his bridge with Trump. His solutions are pretty simple. He's not going to have any more money from the United States. He's not going to have any more protection from the United States. So therefore, let him deal with the forces in his own country that want to get rid of him. Let him provide his own security. Let him provide his own bravado with Macron. I mean, do you really want to go to war with Macron? Give me a break. He's an actor. He's military uniforms. He's playing a role. Well, guess what, buddy? You just played a role in the wrong stage. You're dealing with two of the baddest ass dudes in the world. Between Putin and Trump, your ass is in a sling, buddy. And it's about to be, good luck. You're on your own. You go fight the war. You want to fight the war? Get a gun, go down the front. Let's see what you got. But in the meantime, no more money for the United States, no more aid, no more military, no more nothing. No more trips to the White House, no more phone calls with the President Trump, no more Zippola, nothing. You're done. This war's got to come to an end, or it'll go to World War III. And the Europeans are done too. Cut off their foreign aid, they die. Cut off NATO's aid, it dies. Cut off the United Nations aid, it dies. Trump also took steps last week to make sure there was no money going to the World Health Organization. Okay, so this whole new world order moved towards totalitarian nightmares where we're all the slaves. We don't have any right to think. We don't have any right to vote. We don't have any right to do anything except follow their goose-stepping directions. These people can go to hell and go fast. And so between Putin and Trump, they're going to come to solutions. Now, Zelensky's got a number of choices. Putin might just decide, I'm just going to take Kiev and forget about it. Putin probably on the edge of wanting to say, let's just use some tactical nukes and show these people who they're messing with. Now, it'd be better if Putin did not do that because you don't want to cross that nuclear threshold. But between Trump and Putin, they are not going to let Zelenskyy cause World War III. Ukraine is lost. There's no way these territories Russia occupies are going back to Ukraine without World War III, and Trump isn't up to it, and neither does Putin want World War III. Putin's got what he wanted. Zelensky's a neo-Nazi. He's supported by these neo-Nazi brigades. That's the whole unreported story. Our State Department, our CIA, Soros, back to Hillary Clinton, working with the Pinochet and all the other oligarchs who would fund the Clinton Foundation. And by the way, the Clinton Foundation is a grand scheme for money laundering for the Clintons. And that's going to be investigated. They're not free of crimes because President Trump had a tarmac meeting with Loretta Lynch and Hillary Clinton's email server was given a pass. That's all that stuff is up for grabs again, and it's coming around. So the solution in Ukraine is for us to let Zelensky go as far out in the limb as he wants by himself, and good luck to him. Good luck to Ukraine. Good luck to Western Ukraine, neo-Nazis, who wanted to create the Maidan rebellion, another color rebellion by Obama and Hillary and Soros. We've been through the greatest communist, neo-Marxist, Maoist charade the world has ever seen. Antifa in the streets in 2020, and our military doing nothing about it. Our FBI taking a knee to Black Lives Matter. Well, they can't close down the Justice Department, start it over again. But again, ending this war is critical, and it's going to be ended. And it's not going to be ended on Zelensky's terms. Zelensky is a punk. He's a nothing. He's a gnat on the ass of history. And he needs to be regarded as such. This guy wouldn't be allowed to sit in a major poker game because he doesn't have the cards, he doesn't have the stake, he doesn't have the intelligence, and he would lose everything he's got in about 20 seconds. Well, he's already lost everything he's got, and he doesn't know it. So let him go to France and let him go to Great Britain for his assistance. Maybe get the Muslims to fight for him. Maybe Iran will help him. Okay, but NATO is not going to expand to include Ukraine. It's not going to happen. The wet dream of Macron that he's going to send the French legionnaires into Ukraine and take back these territories is, he should just open another bottle of Puy Fuissé and entertain himself for the afternoon with his older man wife. Maybe they can have a good time together. Who knows? But they're certainly not going to cause World War III. And Trump is going to get these deals done on the rare earth minerals. He's going to get our money back. And Zelensky is going to be lucky just to get out of this. Okay, so all this talk about assassinating Putin and then goading Putin into utilizing nuclear weapons in order to cause World War III, which is what these NATO people want. See, the corruption in the EU is so massive, just like in Elon Musk is showing in our, U.S. Congress, that between U.S. aid and the non-governmental organizations funded by it, the Democrats in Congress made themselves filthy rich. And they funded through Act Blue and these other organizations, money laundering schemes, Democratic politicians all over the country, Democratic, Black Lives Matters, a Maoist organization in which the two founders buy themselves mansions. No surprise there. It's what communists always do once they con the people into giving them power. This whole evil charade is done. And Zelensky, good luck. You want to sit in the middle of the lion's den and not get ripped apart? Good luck. These are your choices. What I solidly recommend is you come to your senses, get off the cocaine and the crack cocaine and everything else you're taking for 24 hours so you can think maybe straight once in your life. You're not in an act anymore. There's not a play, and you're dealing with big boys here. And these big boys here can crush you like a bug in terms of your no longer support, no more money, and investigated for your corruption. You want to get out of Dodge in one piece, not in prison, not everything taken from you. I solidly recommend you might want to play by the game being written for you, because the alternative game that's already being written for you is not one I think that you want to experience. Although if you choose that route, I guarantee you, we will celebrate it here in Corsi Nation, and we will cover and applaud your demise with great enthusiasm, because you want to start World War III, as do the Europeans, to hide their crimes. Rather than facing justice, facing the people, they would rather cause World War III and kill billions. They're depopulationists, they're evil, they're satanic. If you want to go on that dark side, good luck. You're on your own. Okay, now I want to switch gears. Let's talk about Wisconsin. Elon Musk has been up in Wisconsin. Wisconsin's got an election. I believe it's starting tomorrow, or maybe the election day is tomorrow, where the communist Democrats up there, and by the way, Democrats are communists. This party is about to self-destruct. Any party that's got Al Green in his head is going to self-destruct. And Maxine Waters, just give her a microphone. I mean, more woke people. Woke has destroyed the Democratic Party. And it couldn't happen to a worse group of people. I'm glad to see these people face ultimate demise. Okay, so the Wisconsin Supreme Court now is going to allow Musk to give away $1 million to voters. Musk is in there trying to boost the turnout to get a vote that's too big to steal. Now, he's not going to succeed. I'm going to get to Musk today. If you go to God's Five Stones, the report by Andrew Paquette. I'm going to read it here for a minute. I just copied this and forwarded it in a way that probably will get some notice. Andrew Paquette has been doing these studies of the different algorithms in the various states. Wisconsin's got one of the most corrupt databases for voters in the country. So when you look at the algorithms and how they're used in Wisconsin, you find that a name phone search match yielded 2.5 million suspicious records out of 7.7 million. So 2 out of every 7 records are suspicious. Now, as Paquette analyzed this and said, well, how many really have same name, same phone matches, which are likely modified duplicates? See, that's the whole point of these codes put in the state databases. What they do is they allow you to create modified duplicates. So they create 4 Jerome Corsis in Wisconsin. Well, 3 of them, I have my birth date. The other 3 have another date as a birth date. But we all turn the same age on election day, which requires a algorithm to figure out how to do that. Or we have a different address or a different middle initial. Now, after he sorted through everything, he got down to 875,000 suspicious records. I know that there were reports over the weekend there were 5,000 likely voters in Milwaukee that were suspicious. Forget about 5,000 voters. I'm talking about 800,000 suspicious records, which means there's likely 400 and almost 440,000 illegal voters that get voter IDs in Wisconsin and can be used in mail-in ballot schemes. Now, why is this important? This election, because it's for a Supreme Court judge. And they've got a woman running for Supreme Court in Wisconsin who's supported by a transgender celebrity. And she's, of course, completely woke and completely left. She's extreme left of Mao. This woman is completely out of her mind. And if she gets elected, what they've done is a gerrymandering scheme. This is what the Democrats do. They gerrymander. They take districts and they make these convoluted districts in which you get just enough minorities that they can swing a white district to have a black radical communist head, win that election. So they're going after 2 seats in the House in Wisconsin by getting this woman judge to come in and win the race. That will be 2 Marxists on the Wisconsin Supreme Court. They'll affirm the gerrymandering plan. The illegal votes will stay in the election database, and they'll steal congressional elections in the midterm election. That's their plan. Democrats are planning massive election fraud in the midterm election. And Wisconsin's the initial battleground. Now, I'm going to make an effort to get this information to Musk today. And I think we'll probably succeed. But it is, in fact, the core of the fraud. And this is the basis on which, working with President Trump's attorney, Peter Ticktin, Ticktin, and I work with Peter now for months. On a daily basis, we're working together. And what's happening with Peter is Peter's now going to be able to establish, and we have established for Donald Trump, that these algorithms are in virtually I think every state has this type of corruption. And the Democrats are just laying low. They did not use it in the 2024 presidential election because we would have caught them. Remember, the battleground states reported on election night, and they all reported for Trump. They didn't stop the counting and bring in mail-in ballots and then swing the election to Biden or to Kamala or to Satan or to Obama or to Hillary or to Bill Clinton or any one of these other communist, Marxist, hate America nutcases that we've had to deal with the Democratic Party the last 25 years, the last 50 years. Okay, so finally, it's coming to an end. Last week, based on the algorithms, Donald Trump issued this executive order demanding that we have voter IDs and that only citizens, and proof of citizenship required, only citizen votes. And if the states don't do this, if the states don't all begin scrapping their voter registration and do it over legitimately, Donald Trump's going to start taking money away from the states. So California, you don't want to do it? Fine. No more federal aid. California goes bankrupt tomorrow. New York, you don't want to do it? Fine. We can prove you've got algorithms in the database. That's where Paquette started. You don't want to do it? Fine. No more money to New York from the federal government. New York goes bankrupt the day after. New York City goes into chaos. Send in the military. Arrest the Democrats. I mean, this is basically what it's going to take, because when you're arresting Antifa, you're arresting a rented mob. You're arresting people and NGOs that have been paid through USAID or one of the other organizations, government money, or Act Blue, a money laundering scheme from Soros, to act up, cause chaos, and destroy America. Well, it's not going to happen anymore. And Wisconsin, I think, is the first battleground state in a real sense of voter fraud being detected and exposed, and people are going to go to jail over this. There's going to be prison sentences over this. This will be criminally investigated. I'm happy to turn over all of our research to Kash Patel in a heartbeat and to assist him in figuring out how it was done. I can give him the forensics, tell him exactly what to look for, go seize the state computers. And this is not the Dominion machines. This is in the state board. This is the voter registration roll itself. This is before any voting begins. They create false, modified duplicates in such millions of quantities that they can steal any election they want to steal. The Democrats, criminals, and I think with the aid of the intelligence agencies. You know, one other subject has been debated here and going, the signal debate, where the government used signal to do some battle planning in terms of the Houthi raids. Well, the truth is that since about 2017, the NSA, with or without FISA court, I don't think they care anymore, has been monitoring Donald Trump and all those around him. Certainly that was the case for the Russian collusion investigation. I don't think it's ever stopped. So I don't think the government has a secure channel right now that they can use as a government channel without it being compromised by the NSA. Even today, rogue elements in the National Security Agency and the CIA are working to destroy the Trump presidency. Trump hasn't gotten rid of them yet. I think he's going to have to close both agencies, quite frankly, in order to root out the evil, because they're monitoring. I'll tell you what they do in a minute. But the point is what the nature of Signal is. Signal is an encrypted service, and they eliminate the recordings in a very short period of time, so there's no record to subpoena. That's actually more secure than anything the government's got. Now, it can't be used because the laws in classified information demand that we have a secure channel. It doesn't say anything about what happens when we don't have a secure channel. Well, Elon Musk can create a secure channel for the government any day he wants, and he should start doing it, because we're going to need an alternative. Once, NSA, CIA can't be trusted to do their job. All they're doing is leaking and trying to get in with President Trump. By the way, this judge, I'll keep forgetting the guy's name. The guy who wants to make sure that we can allow Venezuelan criminals here, Boasberg or whatever his name is. He's the guy. This is a lawfare judge. This is a judge who has not seen a lawfare case that he doesn't like. Okay, so everything that Boasberg does is hard left. Now, he is the judge that the criminals in the Justice Department in Operation Crossfire Hurricane used to get the FISA court approval based on the Steele dossier, which was also a lie, to go against Carter Page and Papadopoulos and probably many others. Judge Boasberg actually is Kleinsmith, who was one of the Department of Justice real criminals. Boasberg took his lies as gospel, worked with the Inspector General Horowitz to get a whitewashed report. Boasberg is one of the examples of these corrupt Soros judges that are way out of their league, trying to become the chief executive. And John Roberts, who I think should resign in disgrace from the Supreme Court because he keeps blabbing his mouth all over Washington, D.C. and Maryland country clubs about how he hates Trump. Well, if he's going to publicly express his bias to his country club, buddies, and doesn't think he's overheard, he's a damn fool. He's overheard all the time. They got a whole record on this guy hating Trump. So John Roberts' career is about to come to a disgrace, will end. And don't put it past the Justice Department to want to look into his past. These judges are out of control. All President Trump has to do is announce that he's going to submit a federal district court reorganization plan to Congress. And once Congress accepts it, all current federal district court judges, circuit court judges who were given lifetime appointments, their courts are gone. So their appointments are gone. And with the new reorganization of the federal district courts, we can have an entire new judiciary appointed by President Trump. Get rid of all these Soros toadies who need to be criminally investigated. Okay, I'm going to ask Chris to come on in a minute, but I want to make a couple more points before we get there. I'm going to build here to say the economic crash is well underway. And if you want to get out of the way of it, on CorsiNation.com, we've got a lot of good material from Swiss America. And please take my advice. Many of you have not listened to me so far, but I've been saying for months now, for maybe more than a year, to get into a self-directed IRA that Swiss America can set up for you, where you can buy and hold gold and silver. Gold right now is trading today at $3,122. Over the 3,000 mark. It's going to be $5,000, it might be $10,000 an ounce, the way our fiat currency is self-destructing. We've got to take XRP and make it the SWIFT system, and I own XRP, full disclosure. It's going to become the standard cryptocurrency, could be used. Our currency is fiat. We could use cryptocurrency and create sovereign cryptocurrency by utilizing XRP or one of the other ledgers or combination of ledgers, and pay off our national debt cryptocurrency, pay our Social Security in cryptocurrency, the younger workers. Let them have the appreciation of private cryptocurrency, well managed, shut down the Federal Reserve. But we're not doing that yet. And amongst all this chaos that's going on, you're going to see the stock market continue to nosedive. Okay, now as we look overseas, I'm seeing that the undemocratic EU is now showing its full colors. So Le Pen, who is the hard right in France, was just found guilty of misappropriation of EU funds. She was convicted of criminal offenses, and she's going to be in prison for a few years. So the left, in the extreme left, the Robespierre left, in France and the other countries, are now starting to imprison their political rivals. Okay, we see the same going on. There's a couple of other countries here who are doing it. I think Romania, Poland may also be doing it. Don't dare run against these people, or what they're going to do is put you in prison. And so that seems to be the new vogue. And by the way, it hasn't stopped here. Some parents were arrested over the weekend, I believe, for posting on WhatsApp that they oppose their children being placed in public schools with woke teachers teaching them a transgender agenda, a normality. And the parents were the ones who were arrested. Parents arrested in the UK for complaining about their kid's school in a WhatsApp group. And the UK is saying now that white people will get harsher penalties. UK has completely gone Iranian, Muslim, woke, nutcase. Europe's headed down the tubes, and they should go there alone. We're finding that country after country in Europe is morally and politically corrupt. Okay, and so therefore they start imprisoning their political rivals, then they've lost all claim to political legitimacy. And we're in a world here where Donald Trump, I think, has really not even 100 days in office yet, is redefining politics worldwide. And we are saying no to the woke. We're saying no to this insanity. And we're trying to restore God into our countries and prevent World War III. Chris, you want to comment on what we covered today?
Looking at what you were just talking about when it comes to the European elections, watch what the globalists have been doing. Not long ago, as you know, they tried to throw Donald Trump in jail. They did throw Jair Bolsonaro in jail, keeping him from running again against Looney Luna. I shudder to think what's going to happen if Javier Milei loses his next election, if that happens in Argentina. We're looking at the, you mentioned before, the Russian presidential candidate Gorgescu, I believe his last name is. He was recently arrested. There were protests going on over the weekend in Romania, and Zero Hedge has an article speculating as to whether Poland might cancel its elections if the quote-unquote wrong candidate wins. So you're seeing the jailing of the opposition. Like you said before, the European Union is going full communist. The globalists are fighting back against the people fighting back against them over the last 2 or 3 years. They're not going to quit. They're losing power, but they're not going to quit.
They're not going to quit, but they're going to go rapidly to hell.
Yes,
and they can rule in hell for all I care, but they can't rule here.
Yeah, they're annoyed with the globalists down there, from what I understand.
Yeah,
Everybody's
probably.
annoyed with them.
Trying to make hell woke.
Yeah, exactly. That would be hell, wouldn't it?
That would
Think
be
about
hell.
the torture of living all through eternity under a woke government.
Yeah, that'd be punishment, all right. So I think we're seeing that the forces that understand insanity are now in the ascendancy. It's still going to be a battle. It's not done yet by any means. Oh, by the way, I just love all these mobs out there attacking Tesla. I thought the left was for Tesla. I thought they were for climate change hoax. I thought they wanted to, make sure that we had net zero. Now they're attacking Teslas.
Yeah. Yep. Here's the funny thing. These people, like you said before, they were all into getting a Tesla or some kind of electric car as a status symbol. Now it's because he's associated with the Orange Man. It's now Spaceman bad, right? There we go.
Yeah, well,
there's a page on X called Tesla Dashcam. Have you seen it yet?
No, I haven't seen it yet. I mean, these people are so stupid. Teslas have probably the best protection system of any car in the world, and they're being photographed destroying Teslas, which gives our feds all the criminal evidence they need to indict these people.
Yep, these are the people doing this. They're being made famous on their website. So if you know any of these people or know who they are, report them to their employer and to police. How about that? Well, I'm sure there isn't an employer in most cases, but report them to police.
Well, the insanity here is just, these people have lost their minds, and and the problem is they're on school boards all across the country and city councils. They have positions of power, and they're not about to give up. And there's a lot of indoctrinated voters out there that think Ukraine is fighting for freedom and think that Russia's the aggressor. And, the mainstream media continues to lie, and lie is all they know how to do. This whole, Truman Show that we've been living under with the intelligence agencies killing Kennedy. Now I think we've got greater evidence that that's the case. And so on and on it goes. But the point is that Donald Trump is president, and this war in Ukraine is going to end, and the war in the Middle East is going to end, but not on terms that the radical left, which wanted World War III, is going to be happy with. They're not going to get their little World War III, at least not today. Okay, so this is Dr. Jerome Corsi. This is CorsiNation.com. In the end, God always wins. God's going to win here too. God's at work. He's at work in a massive way. And it's not going to be an easy or smooth ride, but it's going to be one that's a successful ride. That's what counts. And so therefore, I'm encouraging everybody, get on our knees collectively. Join me, 2 Chronicles 7:14, and asking God to forgive us for letting everything get to this point. That we can reverse this. We will reverse this with the help of God. And in the end, God is in the process finally of winning. God has heard our prayer and is healing our land. Dr. Jerome Corsi, this is CorsiNation.com. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back tomorrow. God bless.